Sir Keir Starmer has been warned of one key weakness he has strongly displayed so far as leader of the Labour Party, with political experts warning it leaves him at risk of not being taken seriously enough by British voters to topple Boris Johnson as the next Prime Minister. The former shadow Brexit Secretary and Director of Public Prosecutions took over as Labour leader on April 4, but is already faced with a huge uphill challenge to dethrone the Prime Minister from 10 Downing Street. Sir Keir took over a party in utter disarray after Jeremy Corbyn led the opposition to its worst general election performance in 80 years towards the end of last year. The Prime Minister and the Tories secured a massive 80-seat majority in the House of Commons, enabling Mr Johnson to quickly push through his Brexit and provide the party with huge power in any parliamentary votes. Labour saw thousands of voters turn against the party in the general election, losing traditional heartlands and constituencies in the north of England that it had held and relied on for decades. But crucially, Sir Keir has faced off and clashed with Mr Johnson during Prime Minister's Questions (PMQs) in the Commons on an almost weekly basis since becoming Labour leader 3 months ago, with the British public closely assessing his performance. Sir Keir has been able to question the Prime Minister on the government's handling of the coronavirus crisis, which it has been heavily criticised for, from everything on recognising the seriousness of the outbreak early enough, to the national lockdown. But Wyn Grant, British political scientist and professor of politics at the University of Warwick, warned Sir Keir's task to return Labour to success isn't being helped by some of the traits he has displayed whilst speaking in the Commons. He told Express, "There is, of course, a mountain to climb, but it needs to be remembered that governments lose elections as much as oppositions win them. The Conservative lead has shrunk and voters who switched to them in the Midlands and the North have not become Conservatives overnight. The government will need to deliver and in particular to avoid an economic slump. I don't think Starmer's task is impossible, but it is challenging. He is competent, but does he have charisma? Behaving like a lawyer in court, such as saying I rest my case at PMQs recently lays him open to Boris Johnson's counter-thrusts such as your witness, Mr. Speaker.